So what's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing? Now today I'm going to do a review on T.I.'s new album called Trouble Man, Heavy as the Head. Now T.I., I'm not a huge fan of him. I do listen to his albums. I listened to his past album, No Mercy, that came out in 2010. I don't know much about it because I haven't heard it so long, so it's going to be hard for me to even compare. So I'm not even going to focus on comparing it. I'm just going to talk about this album, things I liked, some things I didn't like, some things I may have noticed in this album while listening to it. So with all that being said, let's hop into this and I'll share you my thoughts. Make sure you share your thoughts on what songs you liked, what do you rate this, all the other good stuff down in the comment section. So let's get started. So this album has 16 tracks, and on those 16 tracks you're getting features from Meek Mill, A$AP Rocky, Lil Wayne, CeeLo Green, Andre 3000, Pink. Also a few other artists are on this album. Now one thing that instantly bothered me about this album was T.I. isn't the guy that you hear or that he tries to act like throughout this album. Now I mean this because in the present, like in today's world right now, you see him on TV, you see him doing these things. He's not the person that he reflects on, he talks about, that he has been doing these things like other artists like 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Diddy, where they aren't doing what they did, let's say 5-10 years ago. You may have small occurrences like 50 jumping gunplay and his people, whatever you want to call it, and T.I. having his whole gun charge and all the little mini things that happen throughout their little career. They aren't the same person they were like 5-10 years ago, so it kind of bothered me that he's touching on things that he hasn't really done in a while or in the past few years or whatever you want to call it. So that's one of the things that instantly bothered me when I first started hearing and playing this album. Now one thing I found interesting was the skits. Now the skits were pretty interesting. They kind of set up what the song was going to be about or what happens and all the other stuff. Like such as the song Can You Learn featuring R. Kelly. It starts out, they're talking in the car, some guy wants to meet them, they meet each other, then the police come and they get set up or something like that. So it starts it out there, and then they go on and it talks like they're talking to a girl and saying, can you learn to love a troubled man and stuff like that. So some of the skits that they have, the few that they have in here, the few skits, they kind of set up what the song will be about and stuff like that, which I liked, which I thought was pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of Kendrick Lamar's album, because he had a lot of skits throughout his album, whether it was the beginning of songs or the ending of songs. You had those skits where it tied into his life. So I found that interesting that T.I. had a couple in his album. Now another thing I liked about this album, it was themed. It was based around a certain topic or a certain subject, which was T.I. is a troubled man. Whether he gets in trouble finds him, he's a troubled man, which I liked. But throughout this album, certain songs or certain parts or whatever you want to call it, I feel like he kind of strays away from that, and it's like, why was this put in here? It doesn't reflect on you being a troubled man. Like that happened to me, and to me it bothered me because I thought the theme was gonna be troubled man. It's a great concept. I wish he kind of stayed on it. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm not getting the big picture, but I was hoping for him to kind of stay a little bit more on the theme of troubled man and not putting so much songs like Cruising, The Way We Go, or whatever it's called. Some of those songs where I don't feel like it fits in between being a troubled man. So that's just my thoughts on that whole theme that he had for it. It's a great theme. I just wish he was more consistent a little bit more throughout the album, instead of straying off to different songs and putting it in, whether it would have been a radio single or whatever he had plans for, or whatever the label had plans to do with the song. Now I know I'm gonna get hate for this, I'm gonna get something from this, but throughout this album, like I said earlier, I really felt like T.I. was trying to prove something. Like he was the same guy that could still make music like he did back then, or touch on subjects like I said in Cruising, The Way We Ride, and other songs like it, where it really bothered me because T.I. wasn't really in that lane of travel. I really wasn't feeling some of that. I felt like he's trying to prove things, maybe to a younger group of rappers, maybe to a younger audience. Some of those songs I didn't like. Now I'm hoping if T.I. goes and makes another album, I'm hoping he takes a more grown-up stance, because his shows on TV, we see his life throughout, you could say a daily basis or whatever the TV show does. We see his life and what he does with his family and all that other stuff. I would like to see him take more of a grown-up stance, at least for the next album. He has songs that really touched on him kind of making a grown-up stance, like Sorry with Andre 3000, even Hallelujah, A Wonderful Life with Akon. Some of the songs I really liked, and I thought it took a grown-up stance of T.I. I would like to see more of this if he makes another album, kind of touch on it. I would want a lot less of the, radio songs on here. Yeah, you can have a couple, but the way he had it, to me, I feel like he had the songs that were more radio friendly or whatever, trying to hit a certain demographic or certain people, were more on this album than some of the songs I was really feeling that really would be the grown up T.I. that I was looking for or hoping for. But maybe we'll get that with the next album that's coming out, Trouble Man 2. So with that being said, let me hop into my top 4 songs, because I did like a couple of these songs, so let's hop into them. So my top 4 songs would have to be G-Season featuring Meek Mill, Sorry featuring Andre 3000, Undresses, and Hallelujah. Now with that being said, I feel like this album has to get an 8. Now that's just my opinion. Some of the songs really just bother me. I tried straying away from it just being entertainment music, but seeing that me personally, I want T.I. to be more grown up in certain things, but maybe I'm the only one that wants to see a grown up T.I. So with that being said, drop your thoughts. What do you feel about this album? Would you rate this? Trouble Man 2 is coming out next year, hopefully, if it doesn't get pushed back until 2014. So with that being said, drop all your thoughts. What do you feel? Any disagreements? All the other stuff down in the comment section. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, why haven't you? Hit that subscribe button down there. I get new videos pretty much every week. I'm hopping back into it. You got something you want me to check out, hit me a link, PM, and hopefully I have the free time to actually check it out, and another free time to actually, shoot the video and all the other stuff. So with that being said, make sure you subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Google+. So whatever you got a question, or you want something, or you want to make sure there's a video out, you instantly get it. No broken YouTube boxes or whatever. So with that being said, I'm out. Peace.